Hell yeah,
Awesome, man. So how you doing?
man. I'm doing awesome, man. It's past past couple months since our last interview, man. I've been doing a lot of different stuff, man, and just been living it up in California, man. Feeling good over here. How you doing over there?
Good. We're doing really well. Had a baby since we talked last, so that's kind of
I
cool.
know, man.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
thank
brother.
you. Yeah, thank you. So my wife actually just went back to work on Monday from maternity leave, so I'm Mr. Mom now. 3 days a week, I got the baby with me.
Hey, there you go. I see you doing some interviews with the baby in there too, getting in some video time, huh?
Yeah. She's great. So it's been good so far. Yeah, I wanted to catch up. I wanted to talk to you first and foremost. I've been seeing these wildfires in California. Are they near you?
Uh, it's actually I'm not in San Diego, but my hometown, Salinas. That's it's like right in my backyard, man. It's not a my family's not getting evacuated, but it's the fire's damn near like 10 minutes away from where I'm living, and thank God we're not close to any hills or any of the wildfire over there. But it's getting close, man. It's close for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was I was watching something earlier today. It was saying that it's not even really wildfire season. I didn't know there was a season for wildfires.
Yeah, me neither. It's kind of
Yeah,
weird.
I know. But yeah, hopefully everybody, back in your hometown, they stay safe. Your family stays safe. Wanted
Yeah,
to check in,
man.
make sure everybody was good with that.
Thank you, bud. I
And
appreciate that.
for sure. And then how are things going with just training with, COVID? You got new protocols. I see you're, doing a lot of mitt
Hmm.
work, a lot of movement drills. Pretty much
Hmm.
every video I see of you, you're working the body. So that's kind of cool to see. Um,
Yeah.
but I just want to see how things are going with training in this new world.
Uh, Honestly, right, past couple months, man, I've been trying to do something different in my training. Not really much like game planning or learning new combos. Just I've been more on the mental side and just the little movements. I recently got a mobility trainer. I've recently gotten into this water fitness. It's called deep end fitness, and that's all mental right there,
Hmm.
bro. It's you're carrying 50-pound dumbbells like under the in 13 feet water across like a 25-meter pool. We're doing backflips under there. We're doing a bunch of stuff over there, man. And at first, I didn't think it was gonna be like I shouldn't say hard because I knew it was gonna be hard, but I didn't think it was gonna be so mentally challenging. I should say. Um, Getting under there and holding your breath for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute, and while doing something, it's hard, bro. It takes that relaxed state in your mind, and when you don't have any you don't have any oxygen to breathe,
Hmm.
and you're under there, you get into this panic state down there, and you're um, you're operating in that panic state, and that's basically what fighting is.
Hmm.
You get locked in the cage, you start panicking. Maybe not you're not realizing it, but your body's panicking. Your body's saying, what the hell is going on right now?" Right? Like it's two lions in a cage. So it's um, it's different training, man. I'm tapping I'm tapping into something else that I feel like is going to be another game changer. Um, I'm all about making game changing moves and all about doing something different. And I think this is one of the things that's going to unlock something up here that I'm not used to. And once I get used to it, once I start learning how to channel it, and it's going to be scary.
And you said something, when you're talking about that, it is very relatable to fighting because I think there's levels to the mental side of fighting as well, right? Your first fight, you just go in
Mm,
there and I mean, I don't even remember my first fight. A lot of people that I talk to say they don't either because it's just like a huge adrenaline rush. You're out there, your body's in
mm,
fight or flight mode. Um, And it seems like what you're describing with this water fitness is kind of the same thing, where the first time you go down, you're like, oh man, I got to hold my breath and carry dumbbells and do backflips. And then, as you start to progress, have you seen your mind be able to kind of slow down and relax through the process of doing this?
Most definitely. When I first started the deep end fitness, it was probably, I don't think I haven't been doing it a month. Like I've been doing it, probably just about a month. And man, like the first session I had in there, they're like 2-hour sessions, hour and a half sessions. And when I first got in there, I could barely hold my breath for 15 seconds, and trying to get down onto the 13 feet and grabbing the dumbbells. I was barely grabbing the dumbbells, and I was like coming back up for air already. And it's also kind of the fear of like drowning and like it's just facing your fears. It's just the fact that you're facing something scary, and when you get that like that fight or flight thing, like what are you gonna do? You're gonna freak out and come back for air. You're gonna just keep on chugging, and it's really like I said, man. There's a certain mental space you got to be in here to be in underwater and doing all that stuff, man. And it's not just helped me in fighting, but just being more relaxed in just right now. Just being more relaxed and being more conscious and more aware of what's going through my brain, and being just being more aware of like where my head's at, because I don't know about you, I don't know about you or any other fighter, but for me, when I'm sparring or when I'm like fighting, especially when you get like in those deep rounds and those deep sparring rounds, or maybe it's the second round, you're going against some heavy hitter, or just that scared frightness comes out of you or something like that. That those feelings come out of you, and you gotta channel it. And it's kind of like I forgot where I was going with this, but deep end fitness. Where was I going with this, man? I had something going.
It's all good. Yeah, when you're talking about sparring, what it reminds me of is.
Oh yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, sorry. Thank you. You got me. And when that cage door locks or anything like that, man, like I'm not thinking about like fighting, man. Like I'm thinking about what's going on in my life type thing. And it's nothing internally in the practice that's going through my mind when I'm sparring. It's like I gotta take care of my family. It's if I don't win this round, like I'm not making my family proud or something like that. Something of that sort. It's something externally coming into my mind that's not really based on fighting. And a lot of people don't understand that, and a lot of people don't realize that when they're sparring, because they just think it's motivation. It is motivation, but it's not the motivation that you need. It's you already know what you're fighting for. You already know why you're getting in that cage, so you don't need that extra stress coming out that's not even playing a factor in the cage. And so I've been really that water fitness is really helping me decipher what I need to be thinking about, what I need to be channeling my energy to, not what's driving me, but what am I going towards, what am I working towards in this area? Am I going to the next line? Am I going to this line and turning back? It's always just taking in that first step. And then after you take the first step, all right, what do I got to do for the second step? Not I got to make my family proud, or if I win this, I'm going to get a bag, or anything like that. Nothing externally should be channeling through your head, That's what I'm really getting from this water fitness.
Yeah, I had to train myself how to do that through fighting as well. My first, I don't know, maybe 5-6 fights, I was just concerned about Did everybody that I sold tickets to get into the event? Did everybody get their t-shirts? Does everybody, if I lose and get knocked out, am I going to look stupid in front of people? Like all of those things were
Yeah.
going through my mind all the time. And it wasn't until, like I said, like my seventh fight, something like that, I just talked to one of my coaches and they were like, none of that should matter, once you step in the cage. And it is hard to block it out. Everybody has different external factors going on in their life, and they also have different motivations for fighting. My motivation may be different than your motivation. So it's fun to kind of dive into the mentality of fighting, why people do it, how they block things out, what they focus on, even down to like where somebody's looking when they're sparring. It's so individual to each person. And if you can harness that, kind of that Zen state, I like to call it, right, where there is no external factor and you can just flow through sparring and really hit your strides. I think that's a next level in MMA once you can start to block that out.
Yeah, most definitely. That I've said that next level of brain thinking, the next level of just knowing what you're fighting for and knowing that whatever externally outside the cage does not matter. It's just what you're doing inside the cage, and that's what you should be thinking about, not anything externally, because that's what makes me stressed out. That's what makes me, not be the fighter that I really am. When I really get down to the nitty gritty and I really start thinking about what I gotta do, what's working, what just landed, what are my reads. When I start getting into that mindset, that's when I start really picking people apart, and that's when I start really seeing just the bigger box in the big box in what I'm playing. I'm not focusing in this little corner of mine. I'm focusing what's really in the box and what else I can play with in the box.
Yeah, and since you've been doing that, have you the videos that I've seen of you have mostly been one-on-one pad sessions? Have you done any sparring since you started this deep water training, and if so, how has it changed?
Um, I've done one sparring session. I haven't. That was last week. And that was my first sparring session, probably in about 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an eye opener, man. That's when it was an eye opener because it's my first sparring session. You already got jitters because
Mm-hmm.
it's your first sparring session in like 3 months, right? And I didn't even know we were going to do little gloves sparring. So I'm like, all right, well, that's another factor that
Mm-hmm.
I got to play into. I was kind of dealing with some nagging injuries that are fully healed. And I was thinking about that. And, just you have some heavy hitters on the team. So I got matched up with them. So that's another thing I was thinking about. So that's when last week was a really big eye opener for me. Um, I got my ass whooped. I'll be straight up. Got my ass whooped. And usually it's not a bad thing. Everyone gets their ass whooped, but it's something that you got to build off of. It's something that you can't just sit and dwell on. Man. It's like I gotta learn to channel what I'm channeling in that water fitness and whatever I'm doing in the midst. I gotta channel that mental energy, that mental brain space into sparring now because I know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm capable of doing it now. Now I gotta translate it into sparring.
Sure.
My next sparring session is tomorrow, so let's see how that goes tomorrow.
Yeah, you're gonna have to check in with me and let me know how that goes.
I will, man. I will.
Now, out here in Pennsylvania, our events just started back up. Actually, last week was the first week of events. The CFFC, which has been out in California, they had 2 events out here on a Wednesday and a Thursday. No fans, and they only had 6 fights per card, but there were live fights, back in Pennsylvania. Wanted to ask you if you know of any cards that are going out in California, if there's promotions putting shows on, what your regulations look like, if you've heard of anyone kind of trying to contact you, say, would you be ready to go, anything like that.
I've had my manager been doing his thing, and he's reaching out there to a couple promotions. What is LFC, right?
Mm.
LFC,
LFA.
LFC, I think. LFA, that's what it is.
Yeah.
LFA. I've also heard from CFFC. One of my coaches told me that, like you said, they're starting to pick back up, and he's gonna contact them. But honestly, man, like I've been getting calls, and it's just they're saying get ready, man, but they don't have a date, they don't have a venue, so it's just like it's kind of this bullshit around here. But there has been talks that there's going to be something around towards the end of the year. That promotion is going to start going something probably around November, December. So here in a few months, there should be some activity over here. But I'm not believing anything, to be honest, man. I'm just working on myself right now, and if someone calls, I'm ready. I don't care who, I don't care where. I just want to fight.
I think a lot of people are in that same boat, man.
Yeah.
And now in terms of your,
I'm ready. I'm ready for a call. I'm ready right now. You can call me right now. You're ready somewhere next week, and I'm there.
Awesome. And that's what promoters want to hear, right? They want to hear, I'm in shape, I can make weight, I'm ready to go.
Exactly. A lot of people are not about it, man. A lot of people they say anywhere, anytime. But not a lot of people are about that. Man. They'll say anytime, anywhere, and then all of a sudden they get a call. Anywhere at any time, they're like, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can cut the weight, or I don't think I can. And if you're gonna stay, man, it doesn't matter how many pounds you go. Like Jorge Masvidal, 6 days out, and you got the call. You have to lose 20 pounds, man. You don't want to do it, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and talking about cutting weight, what are your thoughts on the fighters that cut massive amounts of weight compared to the guys like Anthony Smith, who walks around maybe like 10 pounds, 5 pounds over 205? Where's your mindset on the weight cutting in MMA?
First of all, I think there should be more weight classes. That's first and foremost, just to
I'm in that club
give
too.
people chances. Yeah, and just to give people, they don't have to kill themselves if they don't want to. I definitely believe there should be a 65, 55, 65, 75, because that 20-pound difference, man, is like it's huge. That's a big jump. And then what's the other one? 205. I think there should be something from like 205 between the heavyweights and the light heavyweights. Was it 25, 35? I think that's cool. 35 to 45. At least every 10 pounds. I feel like that's reasonable. But honestly, man, for me, I don't feel right if I don't cut weight. I've been cutting weight since probably 7th grade. Not a lot of cutting weight for me when I was wrestling and all, but still I had to like cut weight and lose weight. And so I just think it's just part of the process for me. So I don't feel right if I don't cut weight, I guess. But I definitely, people for sure need to take it more serious, health-wise, and how they're going about it, and what they're doing to get down that way. You can't just be 20 pounds 2 weeks away from your fight, and you're still 20 pounds over. You gotta be on your stuff, especially if you're professional. You gotta be professionally eating. You gotta be professionally losing that weight. You can't be doing it like an amateur. So honestly, man, it's just cutting weight. It's not a big deal to me. I just feel like there should be more weight classes for people to fit in. Not just these guys are too big for me, and I don't want to be there, so I'm gonna cut another 20 pounds just to be have that advantage. But I also do like how one does it, where they don't allow cutting weight.
Mm-hmm.
and you fight what you're naturally at, because in reality, you're not gonna be at a you're not gonna be at a bar, or you're not gonna be on the street and say like, hey, you gotta lose 10 pounds before we
Yeah.
can squabble. I mean, in our reality, man, like it matters, but you shouldn't be making a career choice off of it.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
That's
and
my stance.
and segue a little bit into two guys on opposite sides of the weight cut spectrum. I think the next pay-per-view is Paulo Costa and Adesanya, right?
He's looking heavy, huh?
I know. He's a
Paulo
big boy.
Costa's looking heavy, bro. Oh my God, bro. He's a big boy.
So I want to get your take on that fight. Who you got?
Man, no, I think Adesanya, man, he's like I was saying before, he's channeling that
Mm-hmm.
brain power. He's channeling that mental side, and I think he cares how big he is, man.
He
I think
doesn't.
I think he's taking a factor. I don't think he really gives a fuck how big he is, man. Because I think he's gonna use his strength, Paul Costa's strength, and he's gonna make him his weakness. And I think Adesanya's gonna knock him out third round. Straight up.
I'm in the same camp. I'm a big Adesanya believer. I'll believe in Adesanya until I see otherwise.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. But don't get me wrong, man. Paulo Costa is no joke. If he connects one clean one on Adesanya, it's probably donezo for him. So that's why I feel like Adesanya's gonna use his strength against him. He's gonna be moving his head a lot.
Mm-hmm.
His defense is gonna be on point for sure. But I feel like he's gonna make some good reads. And I think third round is when he's gonna channel that brain power and just whoop-ha, right down the pipe. Austin's gonna catch it and face on it.
I hope.
That's what I'm thinking.
So, we talked a little bit about what you're doing currently, but do you have, and we talked about your, not really looking for fights actively right now, but if somebody calls, you're always ready. But do you have any goals for number of fights you got coming up through the next year, through 2021? Is there, something that you want to accomplish by the end of next year, since this year's kind of been a wash so far for fights?
Mm-hmm. For this year, if I can get one fight, man, before December, I don't care if it's on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
At least one fight this year. If not, I'm not gonna cry about it. But once things get popping, man, I'm gonna be popping too. I want 7 fights next year, something.
Mm-hmm.
7 fights, 8 fights, and the goal this year of 2020 was going to be at least making some moves to be in the UFC, or at least get somewhere to where I can be in a position to get myself there. So that's the goal for next year, man. I still got the vision, I still got the plan in my head. I still kind of can see where it's playing out. Hopefully by the end of 2021, man, I'm making a move towards the UFC. If not in the UFC, that's the goal, I think, for sure, no doubt.
Awesome, brother. We're looking forward to it. Pleasure catching up with you today. Looking forward to seeing you get a call from somebody here soon that wants to fight, and a promoter that wants to put you in the cage. Before we go, any shout outs you want to give out, teammates, sponsors, anything like that, feel free.
Man, I like to thank Unity Fight Management, my management team. They've been taking care of me, making sure I'm good through this whole quarantine. Nairobi, that's my apparel sponsor. Thank you for always taking care of me. I always appreciate you guys. And my homeboys, company Humble Imaginations, EST 1995. That's my first and foremost sponsor. That's my best friend. He's seen the vision in me since we were kids. And I've been telling him my vision too. So once I get to the top, once he gets to the top, we'll celebrate at the top together. So I can thank everyone, my family. Thank you for supporting me. Man, keep being patient, man. Once I get in there, it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be fun to watch.
And we
I'm
bring you back.
excited. Yes, I'm excited. I am so excited to get back in the cage and just have fun in there, man. Ready to have fun in this journey because taking it too serious. Not that that's bad or anything, but I'm starting to see the better days, the brighter side of this journey, and I love it. 2020 has been great for me. So I love it.
Awesome, Tyler. We're looking forward to seeing you back in the cage. I'll be in touch. I'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, brother. Have a nice day, dog.
Thanks. You too.